Midnight music. 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 Midnight music.
Like this season of Love Island was probably the most fun reality show I've watched in a really long time.
Really?
Yeah. They had a great cast. Like the twists and all the drama on the show, like they were actually good. Like I'm so used to, because of wrestling, trying to like figure out what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, good
So I
storyline
ruin
stuff.
shit for my I ruin stuff for myself all the time because I look at everything with like a wrestling perspective. Like I've been questioning for 3 weeks now if the MLB is rigged in any way.
No, the NBA is not the MLB.
I like just question sports, just like
It's good to question sports. It really is good
like
to
no
question
if
sports sometimes.
like again, like as someone that like really truly like embraced baseball like this like playoff season and like this season in general, like I actually like went to games. But I'm really bored by the World Series this year. Like how are you feeling as a Yankees fan right now?
You're gonna call me out on stream, aren't you? All right. Yeah. No.
It's well, I'm watching it right now, and I figured it was topical.
It is topical. The thing with the Yankees is it's they were in at least two of the games so far that they could have won. Like they easily should have won game one. If it wasn't
Yeah, I didn't see game two, but I saw game one and game three.
game two, I don't think they were gonna win because the Dodgers are just hot. Game one, they should have won. They had everything going well. I would have contested why he took Garrett Cole out so early. And then obviously putting in Nestor Cortez when he hasn't pitched in a month and a half. And he threw two pitches, and the second pitch was the grand slam that won the fucking game. You know. Like the odds like for that happening, Freddie Freeman, like it's Freddie Freeman's a lefty, Nestor Cortez is a lefty, so lefty pitching towards a lefty is usually a great matchup, but it's not a great matchup when you throw the ball right down the fucking middle where
Yeah.
he crushed it. It's just like the Dodgers are doing like the little things better than the Yankees, and Aaron Judge can't hit to save his fucking life at this point.
I was gonna say I don't obviously don't watch the Yankees like that, so like all I've heard is like I've heard about Soto, I've heard about Aaron Judge, I've heard about these people, and every time I've watched the Yankees, I'm like Aaron Judge isn't good. Like what's the deal? I thought he was supposed to be good.
He is very good. It's just he has he has a problem in the playoffs, and I can tell you probably from watching sports so damn long, it's in his head. It's a mental thing, and he
I'm
can't.
sure it's probably super stressful
And he
being
can't.
the World Series.
And you're playing for the Yankees, you know,
Mhm.
and you're the highest paid player on the team currently at the moment.
Oh, he is?
Oh yeah, we almost lost him to San Francisco like 2 years ago.
Oh shit.
And he was supposed to be he's not only that, he's also the captain of the Yankees, which like no one becomes the captain of the Yankees. The last captain of the New York Yankees was Derek Jeter.
This is probably a dumb question because again, I don't follow the Yankees. When did Derek Jeter stop playing baseball?
2010?
Oh.
No, not 2010.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was
I didn't know that.
24. It was like it was in the 2010s, not 2010.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, it's when he stopped playing. So we didn't have a captain for like 10 years or so. So
Why?
Because the Yankees just don't give anybody the captain title. It's like earned. There's only been like in the history of the Yankees, there's only been like maybe 12 captains ever.
Okay.
Of the team. So like it's one of those things. It's like one of those things that like not every person gets. Like there's captains of teams, but then there's like the captain of the New York Yankees.
Mhm.
Like it's such a small group of people that get that title that it's a very big deal when you get in. So if you become the captain of the New York Yankees, you're the highest paid player on the Yankees, and you can't perform in the playoffs. Like I get it, that sucks for you, but you're also in New York and you have the title. Like we're going to expect you to.
Yeah.
So, and no, Jaquan, you don't have to get jumped to become the captain of the Yankees. Jesus, Jaquan. So it is one of those things where it's like, dude, you got to get it together. And now they're in a hole which no one's ever come back from. So it's not looking good. It's a shame because the Yankees were doing so well this whole year, and they finally got over the hump. We didn't have to face the Astros. The Astros got kicked out. That was always our thing. We finally got to the playoffs for the first time in 15 years. And like they're just shitting the bricks on the little things that the Dodgers are doing better than them.
Yeah. I wish we were able to beat the Dodgers so fucking bad.
I do too at
because
this point.
This would have been a much more interesting World Series.
Yeah, New York would have been in
Like,
shambles.
yeah, but this feels like to me, and like this again, no shade on the Yankees. This feels like the battle of the hats more than anything else.
I mean, it's the two biggest media markets in America, so like from a business standpoint, it's freaking the best thing possible.
No, I know that. But that's the thing, it feels so like sterile to me.
I guess.
And this is not me being bitter because I'm a Mets fan. I feel bad for the Yankees, but also like I'm bored of this World Series.
I get it.
And I don't want to be. Like I'm really I didn't realize how much I enjoy baseball until I like really started like
So you went to
truly
games.
paying attention. Yeah, like I like going to games, but like literally like it became like a routine almost, like watching the Mets every day. So now I need it to be March.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The thing with baseball is like it's horrible to watch on TV. Like I'll put baseball on the background just for shits and gigs. But going to a game is so much better.
I like watching baseball when I'm doing stuff around the house. Like
Exactly.
I love cooking and watching baseball.
I'll read.
Like
I'll read and watch baseball.
I also love a good baseball nap. I passed out really hard during one of the World Series games and I woke up and I'm like, oh, this was a nice nap.
It happens.
But we went to SmackDown on Friday, there were people like in our section watching the World Series on their phone.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And there were multiple Yankees chants.
Of course, they had to be. How is the
Yeah.
brand new SmackDown from your perspective?
It was so much fun. I've never been to a SmackDown before.
Really?
Yeah, it's never happened. Anytime SmackDown comes around, I'm either like busy.
Yeah.
So we bought tickets last minute and we had such a good time. Liv got to see Seth Rollins.
Was
who's
that
her
Liv's
favorite.
first televised event?
Yes.
Wow.
She's the only she's been to AEW with me.
Okay.
But for WWE was her first time.
Uh-huh.
She's been to, we went to the holiday show last year, but that was a house show.
The holiday show just got announced for day after Christmas.
Yeah, we're probably gonna go.
I might too, actually.
I want to go. I'm work that day, but I'll probably like leave work a little early and just hop
I
on the
kind
train.
of want to re-look into Saturday night's main event.
We also talked about that too.
None of
We
us are
gotta
going to
see.
Vegas.
Yo, I always knew I wasn't going to Vegas, but like it is criminal how expensive those tickets are.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. And the
Good.
only reason I didn't go to SmackDown was don't fall. The only reason I didn't go to SmackDown because I was at Comic-Con all fucking the week before. So I was like,
Yeah, you're probably shot. You need a break.
I wish.
Your wallet's probably on fire.
It's not as bad as I thought when I saw. Well, I have to pay rent in like tomorrow, so it's gonna be pretty short for the next like week until I get paid and stuff. But you want?
Yeah, I literally paid a bunch of my bills like on Friday, and now I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be frugal for the next week and a half.
But you want to see some of the Comic-Con stuff I got before I?
Yes, let's do a little haul.
Yeah. So I told you before that I have a picture with Haley Atwell and I got a picture with John Boyega, who's super nice. Like when you meet some of these celebrities, you can kind of tell like who wants to be there and who doesn't. I felt like really like I feel like me and John Boyega would have had a good time. Like he was like just super nice, very like warm and welcoming and stuff like that. Haley Atwell kind of standoffish.
Who's Haley Atwell?
Peggy Carter.
Okay.
Yes, John Boyega, Black Stormtrooper.
Oh, I know who John Boyega is. I'm very
Yes.
familiar.
Yes. Yes, had that semi-gay relationship in Star Wars that it kind of wasn't a thing.
Semi-gay, full gay. They were cowards.
Him and Oscar Isaacs.
Nah, they were in love.
And then I told you about how Freddie canceled and I got Marissa Tomei's autograph.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't age. It's kind of
She looked great.
Yeah, she still looks great in person. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So I
I'm sure.
I actually only bought one book this year.
What'd you buy?
So I bought this. It is called Storm Dawn of a Goddess. So it's about the Marvel character Storm, the X-Men.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, written by New York Times bestselling author Tiffany Jackson. And
Ooh.
luckily for me, she was doing a panel on like the last day. And then she had an autograph. And so I bought the book on the last day, and then I just waited till her panel was over. And I got
It's really pretty.
Oh yeah, this, yeah. It also glows in the dark.
Ooh.
But yeah, I got it.
Who needs a Kindle?
Yeah, right. I got it signed by her.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Marvel has this really interesting thing of being like, they like to do novelizations of their characters and give them unique stories. So they'll just hire New York Times bestselling authors and be like, hey, we want you to do this character. You have all of our resources at your disposal. Write a story.
That's fun.
Yeah. So they have a book.
Or Star Wars did that a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, so that's what happened. So she's also like, it's good because Storm is obviously an African American, and so she is also African American from Brooklyn. So it's like, oh, okay. Marvel knew what they were doing when they were like, use this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she's really good. I bought a lot of art prints.
For the apartment?
Mm-hmm. Because I ironically still have some space. So there's this guy called the Bearded Artist. I met him last year. Really cool guy. So he does. So this is one of my balls. This is, you can't really see, but it's really hard. But it's Captain Marvel.
Glary.
Can you see a little better now?
Ooh, kind of.
Yeah. There's a glare because it's from my. So he does full prints like this. Here's the thing. This is pencil.
Really, that from my perspective, it looked like ink to me.
It's all pencil.
But that's impressive.
It's
that's
all pencil.
Cool.
So I have a couple from him from last year, and so I bought like 4 more because it's buy one get one free. You can't see because his business card's there, but that's General Okoye from Black Panther.
Ooh.
And then, oh, I bought a Deadpool one from him, but that Deadpool's in my bathroom because I thought it was fucking funny.
Cute. What does it look like? So
you remember in Deadpool 2 when he does the Flashdance parody, and he has the like the bullets spraying on him, and he's in the chair?
Yeah.
It's a picture of that.
Oh, that's cute.
It's above my toilet because I'm like, that's fucking hysterical. And then I got, this is just a profile of Steve, Captain America.
Hello, Steve.
Yes. Again, all pencil, which is absolutely bonkers.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Where in your apartment are you going to put them? Like, are you doing Marvel all over the apartment?
No.
Basically?
No, there's wrestling around here. And then I found out that one of my friends from grad school who's in a sorority, or a sorority girl I hung out with when I was in grad school, I found out, she was like, yeah, I'm working Comic-Con. I go, why are you working Comic-Con? She's like, oh, I have a brother that's an artist. And she never told me. I was like, what?
Oh, wow.
I was like, what the fuck? So the brother is really fucking good. And he's really cheap. He's like $15 a print.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he did like this one. This is his rendition of Storm.
Very cool.
Yes. My favorite one from him is Daredevil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I got a couple more from him. Like this is his Moon Knight.
Ooh.
And this is his Ghost Rider.
Your walls are like ready to be decorated.
Yeah, I just don't have frames. I mean, I have a lot in. You don't see anything back here because that's like an open space that I have a plan for something to be there. But everywhere else around my apartment, if you ever come to visit, is decorated with a lot of stuff. It's also like I place things in certain places to make myself laugh.
Like what?
Like, so for instance, my coat closet has a picture, is a poster of Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and Iron Fist, aka like the street level Avengers. And and on the poster it says, let's take it to the streets.
That's funny because you're getting your coat.
Because I'm getting my coat, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, the Defenders. Yes, Taquan, thank you. Like the Storm I just showed you, I'm gonna put in the kitchen because I'll be cooking up a Storm in the kitchen.
We got some puns. I like it.
Exactly. I have a picture of Wanda Maximoff over my bed because she controls my dreams.
Cute.
Yeah. And so all of the demonic Marvel stuff, like next to Wanda's going to be Moon Knight and Ghost Rider.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, just the weird demonic parts of Marvel just hovering over my bed.
Love it. The demonic dreams.
Pretty much. There's a WWE wall all like over here.
I have above my desk. I've been like redoing a lot of the art in the apartment, like moving shit around, and like I'm trying to like steer away from like shit that I buy from like like art from like TJ Maxx, for example.
I didn't know
Like,
TJ Maxx sold art.
You know I love TJ Maxx and like Marshalls, but like I want more like stuff that's like custom-y stuff or like posters from like things we've been to. So like
Comic-Con's great for that.
yes. So like above my desk I have my signed John Cena canvas from 2K18. Then next to that I have the Becky sign from Evolution.
Ooh, still have that. Happy anniversary, by the way.
Happy anniversary. 6 years of friendship. And then we did like last year at work, we did like a Valentine's Day with the other supervisors. There was like a Secret Santa thing.
Okay.
So my coworker does these I don't remember what it's called, but they're like these like drippy paintings.
Okay.
So they sent me 2 of them. One is like the non-binary flag and one is like the rainbow flag.
Ooh.
And then I have like these 2 like human rights campaign postcards I got at Pride last year.
Nice.
Yeah, so like I have my Fanatics pass hanging up right now with my Jeff Hardy necklace.
Nice.
And then behind me is all my musical theater wall of fame.
That I remember.
Yeah, because it's every playbill to every show I've been to.
Speaking of which, before we get started, did you watch the latest episode of Agatha?
Oh my god, yes I did. I'm caught up.
Patti LuPone's an icon.
God. I'm so excited.
I hope she wins a freaking Emmy.
I can't go over how good this show is.
Oh my god, it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite episodes of TV ever was last week's episode.
It was great.
Yeah, it was so good. So good. We can talk about all that in a little bit. We can do it on the post show if you're going to be around for it. Okay.
I will have to dip for the post show.
All right, no post show.
No post show. Today's Boris's gotcha day.
Oh, is
so
it?
We have to, yeah, he's been with us for a year today, so we are going to party it up.
Fair enough.
And by party, we have doggy ice cream for him, and we're going to watch The Great Pumpkin. Well, we watched that together last year because we said that The Great Pumpkin brought him. So every year on his gotcha day, we're going to watch The Great Pumpkin.
You're amazing, too.
I do my best.
You are amazing. Oh, by the way, I also saw Tom Hardy and Aaron Taylor Johnson at Comic-Con.
How was Tom Hardy?
He looks exactly how you think he looks.
Damn.
So, yeah. Just very tatted and just a well-built man. I have pictures. I'll show you.
Please.
Your excuse, Sir Charles. We got a little bit of a late start. William is not here with us this week. But it's just going to be Kay and I talking about some stuff and some things. We got a lot of interesting things to talk about. What?
I was just going to say end things.
Yes, end things. So many things. Because we haven't done this in God. What is it?
Couple weeks,
yeah. It was the week before Comic-Con.
What's going on?
Oh,
everyone's been busy.
Lots been going on. Wrestling inside, especially what Taquan dropped for us in the Discord earlier today. We're going to talk about that as well.
Oh, wait, let me look. I have not looked, actually.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to get the show started. Is that okay with you, Kay?
I say do it.
What's up?
I say do it.
I am going to do it. We're going to start the show, folks, in 5, 4, 3, 2. Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, my goodness, has it been so long since the last weird rally in MSG? I bet it has, folks. And since then, WWE, AEW. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. An announcer left, an announcer returned. WWE's going back to the Indies. And oh yeah, there's that thing in Saudi Arabia that's actually worth something this time around. So sit back, relax. It is just myself and the Big K here with us. Kings of the Rings Podcast, episode number 392, The Crowned Fools, exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio. And it starts right now. It feels lighter today, Kay, doesn't it?
It's because Will's not here.
Whoa, 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 goodness gracious, coming in with the heat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kings of the Rings Podcast.
That's not heat. We just have one less person here.
Welcome to Kings of the Rings Podcast, episode number 392, The Crown Fools. I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. Thank you guys for joining us back after our brief, almost an entire month hiatus. We're back here because we don't really want to watch the Yankees right now. It is not looking great here in New York. But I'm
watching the Yankees.
But yeah, keep me posted. But the Liberty won. You know, a basketball team in New York actually won a championship. It's definitely never going to be the Knicks in my lifetime. But that is a thing. Anywho, folks, thank you guys for joining us. If you like what you're listening to or what you're watching right now, currently live on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, leave us a great, lovely review. And even if you don't like us, leave us a review too, because hey, that just helps us out even more. Links to all of that are in the description below. With me, my companion, my compadre, 6 years of friendship and somehow still a Jets fan, Big K Kayfabe. How are you?
Well, not doing good. I'm a Jets fan.
That's true.
No, I'm doing good. I'm off of work this week, so I'm getting some very desperately needed my royal fact is I'm still a Jets fan.
Where do you think I got that from?
Well, no, I watch the stream on Twitch when we're doing the show, so I feel like I'm making eye contact with you.
Okay, understandable. I get that.
That's why I'm always delayed with the visuals. Because I'm trying to make eye contact and not be a fucking weirdo, but I'm still being a fucking weirdo anyway.
You're fine, okay, it's okay.
So yeah, I'm doing good. I'm sorry to everyone that likes the Yankees, because y'all already losing.
Wait, already?
Yeah, it's 2-0.
How?
A couple of minutes ago.
Wait.
I assumed you were watching. I didn't want to say anything.
I mean, I could be watching, but I don't want to. Freddie Freeman hit another freaking home run. This guy has hit a home run in every freaking game of the World Series. I shit you not. Why are we pitching to him?
It was very quick.
I can imagine.
The game I feel like had just started. Oh, it's only the bottom of the first.
Yes, this happened. This is the same thing that happened yesterday, Kay. This is the exact same thing that happened yesterday. God damn it! All right, we're gonna get swept.
I will say though, the Soto Shuffle is a fucking bop. Obviously, I'm an OMG fan, but the Soto Shuffle fucking slaps, and I listen to it with headphones on. All the time.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Yes, I agree with you, Sir Charles. I might as well just hit him with the ball at this point. Stop pitching to Freddie Freeman. He's got a bum leg. He can't even run, but he will give him everything for a freaking home run. Jesus Christ. This is ridiculous. All right. Let's refocus. Back to the world of wrestling.
So sorry.
It's fine. Thank you for that update, because NXT is also going on at the moment at the time of this recording here on a Tuesday, but we're going to get into not much NXT, but go into a little bit of a recap of the last time we were here. We did talk about this thing called AEW Wrestle Dream, and that show occurred. The biggest...
It did?
Yes, it did. Out of this is that Daniel Bryan retired.
Oh, that's when I went on vacation.
Or
that's
Bryan Danielson retired, if I want to say that actually in the correct form, because Daniel Bryan is a WWE IP. Mm-hmm. Bryan Danielson retired. So, as we know, the stipulation was for Bryan Danielson, that is, if he ever lost the AEW World Title. He would no longer be a full-time wrestling participant in AEW, effectively retiring. John Moxley beat him. They had a pretty. John Moxley's kind of taken over AEW and kind of being a weird psychotic John Moxley character, as he always is. And they beat down Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan has not been Bryan Danielson, my apologies, has not been seen since. We all thought Bryan Danielson was going to win, and we all forgot that Wrestle Dream was in Tacoma, Washington. Where is Bryan Danielson from? The state of Washington. This should have been an easy one for us to predict and see coming, and we totally glossed over it.
I remember specifically saying, I'm like, Daniel Bryan's got time. No, he didn't.
he did not. He did not. I will say this about the Bryan Danielson thing. One, congratulations. Don't ever get into a ring again. You've done enough. I find it interesting that I know Moxley was on the Indies, but essentially a former WWE guy got the rub from a former WWE guy instead of, instead of someone else taking out Bryan Danielson. So
I feel like at this point, like, everyone's a fucking former WWE guy.
At some point, the wrestling world is small, and with more opportunities for professional wrestlers, especially with an AEW, WWE, and hell, even TNA had Bound for Glory this past weekend. There's going to be people who's going to be going back and forth. The Motor City Machine Guns just showed up in WWE and won the tag titles. By the way,
that was craziness.
All right, sidebar a little bit. How you were there in the crowd in Brooklyn?
I was there
with the Motor City Machine Guns. How was that?
Yo, everyone lost their fucking mind. The crowd was hot as always in Brooklyn. Like,
yeah, they're a wrestling crowd in Brooklyn
show
too.
In a while, it was probably the best show I've been to in a long time. But that entire match, that entire segment, like, people were clamoring for Motor City Machine Guns.
You literally saw DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns, who DIY pretty much takes our whole style from Motor City Machine Guns, by the way. And then you had Motor City Machine Guns going up against the Gorillas of Destiny, if we're going to go really indie, which, by the way, Michael Cole did mention on commentary.
Oh, he did?
He did mention that they had history in New Japan. So you got to see, like, these legendary tag teams that had never really faced off in WWE all in one night. And absolutely wild.
It was tag team majesty, honestly.
It was.
It was a really tag team heavy night.
It was. WWE is really up in their tag teams. Solo Sikoa now has a character now. His Impact line was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to make an impact?
I giggled. Then I'm like, oh wow, I don't think he's ever made me laugh before.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. You got to see the Usos hug it out.
Oh my god, can I tell you? I cried.
I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
No, like, actual, like, I haven't, like, cried.
You had real
at, like,
tears?
I had true tears. I don't know, I've always loved the Usos. Always. And I've been, like, wanting them to get back together for so long. But, like, I knew it had to be the right moment. Mm-hmm. I didn't think I'd be there. Literally a last-minute decision. Literally, like, 4 hours before this, I really can't. Do we want to go? We bought tickets, jumped on the train, and awesome. It was such a great night of TV. Next week's episode, spoiler, ruled.
Okay. So speaking of which, before we're gonna move on, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. So SmackDown, TV SmackDown was 2 hours. Then you had to film this week's SmackDown. So how long were you at Barclays for?
Okay, so here's the deal. I did not know they were doing a double taping.
Okay.
So I got there at 8 o'clock.
But the show had already been going on?
Yep. So apparently first bell was by 6:45, 7 o'clock. I thought doors were at 6:45.
Oh.
We had tried to get there a little bit earlier, but we ran into some train issues.
Of course.
So we were, like, delayed. So, like, we were running into we were checking in at 7:55.
Damn. Okay. All right. That makes sense. So they did a quick segment.
But what I didn't realize throughout the taping,
Mhm.
and this really nice, we were sitting next to this like little kid and his mom,
Yeah.
and this kid I don't think I've ever enjoyed sitting next to a kid so much at a wrestling show. Like he like lived and breathed wrestling. But he explained to me, he's like, they're filming 2 episodes. But they were filming it out of order. So what was going on live for y'all on TV was not happening in Barclays.
Oh,
So I
sneaky
was fucking
motherfuckers.
So the tag teams, like Motor City Machine Guns, were like winning the titles, and like the Usos hugging it out. That was like the first hour into the night.
Oh, those
So
sneaky bastards.
So like, and I'm like checking social media. I'm like, why is no one talking about this? I was really confused. And then like 2 hours later, my other wrestling group chat, my one friend is like a huge Motor City, and he's like losing his shit. He's like, "Are they gonna win the title right now?" And then I'm like, "Oh my god, I know." And I'm like, "Look, I'm there. I can't tell you anything." But yeah, they filmed it out of order because I noticed some of the segments, like you would see the graphic that says "Crown Jewel tomorrow," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
That makes sense. Okay.
So I didn't see the Andrade and Carmelo Hayes match.
Oh, you missed the best of 7.
I did, but low key that was going to be my get food match.
Okay.
So I didn't miss anything, and I missed some stuff that is going to happen on this week's SmackDown.
Okay, that's what DVRs were.
But I already don't. Yeah, but I already don't remember what it is.
It's a go home, right? So, sidebar over. Let's revert back to Bryan Danielson. Man's had a hell of a career. I really hope he doesn't come back into the ring anytime soon. I would love for him to remain in AEW, like, as a backstage agent or somebody to help creatively with stuff. But I just don't want to see him in the ring. I think he's done enough, and there's not much more else he can do. I've seen him live. Him live is unbelievable, especially during the Yes Movement era. Absolutely ridiculous. Like I got to see Will and Dave got to see Bryan Danielson come back at WrestleMania on his like return tour.
That's crazy.
When he was in New Orleans, that was crazy freaking time. But I mean, I wish this guy all the best. As fickle as he can be, and probably the greatest thing I ever saw him do was do his best heel character ever to put over Kofi. It's one of the greatest matches I've ever seen live. And it takes
that is in my top 5 for matches I've seen live.
Yeah, and it takes a really special talent to be that unselfish to help someone else, have their moment on the biggest stage in wrestling. And he did that. He like that match is like Kofi's moment is nothing without Bryan Danielson doing all of that amazing character work that he did, and the way that they constructed that match, unbelievable. Stole the show at Mania 35. Be that as it may. But Kay, what are your thoughts on the end of essentially the end of the full-time career of Bryan Danielson?
I think that I was very excited to see him have a second wind and get to have a run in AEW and even come back in WWE. Like, we never thought we'd see him again. And Bryan Danielson was part of a movement where it showed that people that we thought could never come back could.
Yeah.
And having that Cinderella story kind of, manifest into so many different characters and iterations of himself over the years has been really interesting to watch. However, like, he's given so much. He deserves to, like, ride off into the sunset, go play with his kids, like, get the fuck out of the ring for the sake of his neck.
Seriously.
But I could see him, like, being a coach, like, in the back, or a producer in the back. Absolutely. Or even like a general manager again.
Yeah, absolutely.
More I don't think he's done with wrestling, but I think he's done with the ring.
Yeah, I definitely completely wholeheartedly agree with that. So best of luck. Who knows when he's going to show up next? It should be very interesting times, and hopefully AEW, if he remains with the company, utilizes him in a way that's beneficial to the company at large. Now we're going to go to a new segment, or one of my favorite segments. This is the 3rd time we're doing this segment, and it's called K. Now that's what I call yikes. And
oh no!
And the subject of now that's what I call yikes is the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. So,
that's a fucking yikes.
WrestleMania 2-day combo tickets went on sale last week. I myself, Sir Charles, and potentially Will were considering going. I had a number in my mind about what we should spend on combo tickets in order to be able for us to then still successfully fly across the nation to Vegas, get accommodations, so on and so forth, and make it a good time. Well,
What would have a realistic budget for that trip have looked like?
a realistic budget? Well, I have my parents.
For normal people.
Oh, for normal
Like-
people, not people with connections like myself. Okay.
No, not like normal people.
Oof. I would probably say between $3,000 and $5,000, I'm assuming. That is just an assumption. You know.
So much money.
Okay, so all right, so combo tickets went on sale. And I decided that I was going to be on the pre-sale, because that's usually when you buy WrestleMania tickets, because that's when they don't hit the secondary market, and they're usually the cheapest. And then I discovered that the cheapest tickets during the pre-sale were in the nosebleeds, obviously, but they were $600. Mind
For the
you,
nosebleeds?
yes, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I paid roughly around $600 per ticket for my club seats in Philly this year.
That's crazy.
So I was like, little pricey, little odd. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to sit in the nosebleeds at Mania. I'm not that type of person who just wants to be there. I know wrestling fans who are like, oh, I just want to be there and be in the thing and have a good time. Not me. I've sat up in nosebleeds, never will do it again, especially in Barclays. It fucking sucks.
We were at the second to last row at Barclays.
That's where
for
I was.
SmackDown.
That's where I was for Sasha Bailey won.
That's where I was for Raw after Mania 2019. I forgot how fucking high up it was. I was so scared.
Yeah, it's because it's steep in the top of Barclays. It's very steep.
Oh, I ate an edible about 45 minutes before walking into Barclays because they're so crazy with vapes and shit.
Yeah.
So like I didn't bring anything with me. I smoked a joint on my way in and ate an edible. So I was like fucked up. I'm like, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah. So anywho, folks, so I went into this thing I had priced out of Mania, not gonna go. SummerSlam's coming to New York City anyways. So then I got curious because a lot of people were talking about these higher prices for Mania in Vegas. And think of Mania, entertainment capital, very expensive, blah blah blah. I get it. And then I noticed, and a lot of other people noticed and reported that the next day of the pre-sale, the ticket prices doubled or tripled in certain instances.
Wait, what? Oh, that I didn't know.
Yes. Okay. I explained this in our
Oh
Discord.
no.
So
I
people
don't
were
read
like,
the Discord that cover to cover all the
that's fine. I never do. That's why I have my notifications on my phone turned off and I only answer it when I remember it. Which I probably ticks off some people who try to get in contact with me and tag me and stuff, but whatever.
I'm the same way. It's no shade to anyone. It's just too much noise for me.
That's what it because here's the thing. Like I love all of our Discord people. Most of them are watching the show, but sometimes when you guys get to talking, I don't want my phone going off or my wrist going off because I have a smartwatch every 2 seconds.
Me too.
So I'm like, I gotta meet you guys and just
When
check
I'm at
it.
work, especially, I'm like, I can't.
Anywho, so I noticed that a lot of people noticed that these prices doubled yet tripled. Currently, I checked a couple of hours ago. Those same nosebleeds are going for $1,100, $1,200. The lowest price I saw was
No
about $800.
fucking way.
So here's what I discovered. Okay. This is not fully a WWE thing. This is a Ticketmaster thing. So Ticketmaster uses what is known as a dynamic pricing model. This is something that has got them in potential trouble in the UK and in Europe because an Oasis concert debacle. So what the dynamic pricing model does, it allows Ticketmaster to fluctuate the price of the ticket for an event based on the demand for that event. So if there's higher demand, the prices will skyrocket. And since WrestleMania essentially was at a time the poor man's Super Bowl, the prices shot up ridiculously. You can look on social media and see the prices people paid for WrestleMania this year. It is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. It is so high that you can probably
Yeah.
mathematically get a better price for WrestleMania by going through On Location. WWE's premium live event experience company that they use.
Mhm.
You can almost mathematically get a better price there instead of using Ticketmaster.
I hate Ticketmaster, like truly.
You know, and this is concerning because WWE and many other arenas, companies primarily use Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster essentially has a monopoly on anything tickets sold. You know, SeatGeek for a while. The one time WWE did not use Ticketmaster was WrestleMania 38 because all the tickets went through SeatGeek, and that was a much better experience and also cheaper too. I was able to pay for me and someone else to go with to Dallas. You know, but I don't know. I don't know if this is a trend. A lot of people have voiced a lot of concern about them getting priced out. I call WrestleMania the poor man Super Bowl because it's an event that was reasonably feasible for many common people. Like if you look at the Super Bowl is essentially a private event. You have to know somebody to get a ticket to the Super Bowl. Like it's there's no way you get into the Super Bowl as a common person. You know, but WWE WrestleMania was never like this. And also being 2 days, being in stadiums, usually the price would go down, but Ticketmaster kind of stopped doing that. And this is price gouging at an exuberant level. And I don't know what you do to stop it. There has to be some sort of intervention, but yeah, if you look at Ticketmaster right now, okay, if you really want to, I don't advise you to do that because you'll scare yourself.
I'm gonna.
You know, the prices are still ridiculously high. So that's all I have on that. But it's mind blowing. I don't know if I'll ever be able to go to another WrestleMania unless it's in the Northeast with all these prices.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want it to continue this way because I want to go to WrestleMania again in the future. And
the best thing about WrestleMania is traveling to different cities for WrestleMania.
Yeah, the only WrestleMania I've been to is
New York.
The New Jersey WrestleMania. Yeah. I want to go to WrestleMania. I like traveling a lot.
Yeah, you would have loved Philly with us, Kay.
I know.
Would have had a great road trip, all 5 of us, packing in my car.
I know. Philly would have been great. We got a pop.
I get it.
Unusual activity on my browser.
Ooh, that's rough.
Why is it yelling at me trying to look at WrestleMania tickets?
It's
weird.
It's very weird. I can look it up right now for you to see what the prices are.
Oh no, I turned my Wi-Fi off to see if that worked.
Oh yeah.
And now it's just not loading.
I'll pull it up for you right now.
Oh, I got it. It's loading.
Are you sure? What are we looking at?
Oh my god, the cheapest ticket I found is $900.
Yep, that's
in section 434.
That's at the top of the stadium, folks.
That's fucking craziness.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite literally the top row. Okay, let's see if I wanted one ticket. If I just went alone and abandoned my whole family, what would happen? Please adjust my search. Okay, so you can't buy one ticket. You have to buy at least 2. Yo, these people are fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that I'm looking, those tickets already disappeared, and now the cheapest ticket I found is in section 138 for $1,835.
Jesus.
That's a month of rent.
For real. Yeah, and somebody posted what the price plan was, because somebody usually posts it or it leaks somewhere, and it's nothing that you can find on Ticketmaster. They're exponentially cheaper than what WWE posted. And this is all to Ticketmaster's dynamic pricing model, which is an absolute disaster.
Yeah. I hope in the future they don't go with Ticketmaster as who does the ticketing.
Yeah. Because this is an absolute disaster. Is WrestleMania going to sell out? Probably.
I low-key hope it doesn't.
I kind of hope it doesn't due to kind of showing some of this. common folk like us will never be able to get to a WrestleMania again, and that's a very unfortunate thing because wrestling. I loved seeing regular people at sporting events or wrestling events because it made it that much more fun. I don't want it to go the way of a Super Bowl where it becomes like, it's just you have to be a celebrity or a big name person just to even get tickets to this thing.
I can't get over how much money it is. Even like we looked up World Series tickets just out of curiosity, and even those like
Oh, well, the World Series already
like,
got priced out like as soon as the matchup got announced.
Yeah.
So
Very expensive.
it sucks. So yeah, WrestleMania will be in your house. It'll be from our houses this year. So if anyone wants to come over or something, we can definitely do something and figure that out. Moving on to this, unfortunately, last week we had to see the end of one of the greatest announcers ever in the history of pro wrestling. Samantha Irvin, that darling that she is, announced last Monday that that Raw was going to be her last show and that she is leaving the company, which made everybody really shocked. There was a lot of speculation going around about why she was leaving, where she might be going. Obviously, because her husband, I think they're married now, husband or fiance.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't
Ricochet is left for AEW several months ago, showed up at All In, and there was a thought that maybe she's also going to AEW. Ricochet immediately said, no, that's not what she's doing. Do not worry about that. There was a lot of speculation, like, is she going to follow her fiance? Does she miss her fiance? And a very misogynistic comments that people made.
Yeah, that's gross.
So she did come out the other day and said some pretty interesting stuff. It was that although she was an announcer, she wanted to be more than an announcer. She used being an announcer as the way to get in. She wanted to be a manager. She wanted to work her way to being more of an on-screen character than what she was, because she is a fan of wrestling. She's also ridiculously talented. You've seen her on America's Got Talent. That's where they found her. However, WWE felt that WWE gave her a glass ceiling that she wasn't going to break through. They only saw her as an announcer, and I don't blame them because she was a damn good announcer. When Bruce Buffer and Michael Buffer are giving you compliments, like, you're really good at your job. And they didn't see her going farther than that, and she wanted to do more with her career, and so she decided to leave, realizing that she wasn't going to go anywhere. She decided that she wanted to pursue a different avenue. And this is something that she came out and said, this is something that WWE had been known about for months. This wasn't something that was a spur of the moment thing. We just found out about it, but WWE was well aware of it. The other big thing that came out from her own personal social media is that she didn't like being an announcer.
It's so crazy how often people are good at things that they actually don't like doing.
She did not like being an announcer at all. She said she did the different gimmicks, the different ways of announcing people's names as a way to make it fun for her. Ironically, it was something that endeared us to her all the time because she was creative, but she did it out of necessity because she didn't like to do it.
That's valid.
And I get it. She had to make it fun. She made chicken salad out of chicken shit. She's moving on to other avenues, and it sucks because she probably has the most iconic announcement in WrestleMania history after Cody winning.
Yeah.
She hated the job. She didn't like being an announcer, but you could have never figured it out. Whenever you
there might be hope for the Yankees. Oh my God.
Take it easy. It's only one game. So what are your thoughts on Samantha Irvin leaving kayfabe?
I'm very bummed about it. I really enjoyed listening to her every Monday. And I hope she gets to wherever she ends up next. I hope she gets to do the things she actually wants to do instead of being forced into a role that isn't her vibe.
Yeah, it's a big loss for WWE.
Huge.
Very, very huge loss, but WWE always surprises us because taking Samantha Irvin's place in a very immediacy, back on a full-time basis, Lillian Garcia is.
I was shocked.
We all were. Lillian Garcia now returning as the voice of Raw on a full-time basis. Shocked the world. When I first found out Lillian was coming back on a full-time basis, like, this seems really fishy. Like, my conspiracy theory, like my tinfoil hat.
Weird.
I was like, really? I was like, you're like you Sam's leaving and Lillian Garcia is just right there. However, if WWE had time to really think about this and negotiate with Lillian, then it makes a lot more sense.
I find it interesting that they went with Lillian instead of trying to establish.
Yeah,
a new
they
announcer.
put Mike Rome. They're like, Mike Rome, you stay in NXT.
That's the thing. They could have brought Mike Rome up.
They could have brought Mike Rome back.
Yeah.
But they didn't, like, stay there. That is a good question. How much money did they throw at Lillian? I don't know, because I thought Lillian Garcia was done. But now
Me too.
she's back on the road. Everyone's met Lillian. I know Will has. She's apparently a huge sweetheart. She did have her own podcast on the network for a while.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, because there was a big episode with Shotzi when Shotzi was talking about her history as a his growing up. That really, like, endeared a lot of people to Shotzi. Because of some of the things she went
scored.
Thank God.
2-1.
Okay, close enough. So Lillian Garcia's back. Samantha Irvin's gone. Who knows where she's going to pop up? Kayla Becker's supposed to be being in a movie soon, or Kayla Braxton formerly. Samantha Irvin, I think, is going to pursue her music career a little bit more now.
Good for her.
She's a fantastic singer. Have you ever heard her? You know,
I have.
Yeah,
she's very talented.
She's extremely talented, so I feel like she's going to be successful in anything that she does. So moving on from that, WWE decided that they're going to return to the independents, effective immediately. So I'm going to read to you, Kayfabe, and all of our listeners, the press release that was gifted to us by one of our friends, Taquan, that came out today. So it says, excuse me, WWE today announced the launch of a first-of-its-kind developmental program designed to provide up-and-coming independent wrestlers a pathway to a potential career in WWE. The program will be called WWEID, short for WWE Independent Development. Yes. It says, following the 2021 launch of WWE's NIL program, which birthed the people like Tiffany Stratton came from NIL, Kalani Jordan's from NIL. A lot of your current NXT talent is from the NIL classes. It said, following WWE's NIL program in 2021, ID has been constructed to support independent wrestling prospects and wrestling schools with world-class training, development, and mentorship.
That's really cool.
Gets even more interesting. Under the program, WWE will provide prominent independent wrestling schools with a WWE ID official designation, with the goal of providing new trainees and existing talent at these select institutions with enhanced developmental opportunities. Here are the 5 schools that they've announced. Booker T's Reality of Wrestling in Houston, Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory in Atlanta, Seth Rollins' Black and Brave Academy in Iowa, Elite Pro Wrestling Center in Concord, New Hampshire, and Knox Pro Academy in Los Angeles are the first WWE ID independent wrestling schools to earn official designation. Additionally, WWE ID will identify top independent wrestling prospects with an official WWE ID prospect designation and support their developmental journey by providing financial opportunity and assisting with training, mentorship, and development, including access to world-class facilities, best-in-class training, athletic trainers, and more. WWE ID will give fans the opportunity to follow the paths of these standout prospects on the independent wrestling scene through curated behind-the-scenes content, as well as highlights and matches showcased across WWE's social platforms. So that is the new WWE ID. WWE investigation discovery. Jesus Christ. They're not going to. This is an interesting thing. So I have some thoughts on this. Some people are like, this is going to kill the independent scene, and I don't think it is. There was a promoter that came out the other day and was like, I don't want people to work with me for over a year. If you're working with me for over a year and you haven't gotten signed, that means we're still stuff for you to work on. Like, I want everybody to get signed. And I wish more promoters had that mentality. You know, I get it can be difficult, but also with this, to me, I see this as same cow, like this is the new coat of paint on the thing that WWE's been doing for fucking years. They're just making it public. You don't think they follow wrestlers and give them opportunities? You haven't been following the story of Zelina Vega, or other talent where like they will grab talent before they went away for a couple of years when they said we're gonna stop doing the indies, we're gonna go to do NIL exclusively. Which what they did to pretty good success. If you've seen the talent on NXT, they've done really well with that. They were following independent wrestlers. They would bring them for tryouts. Shotzi got invited to the Performance Center like 8 times before they signed her.
Yeah.
You know,
I was just thinking about her. That's so crazy you
yeah,
said that.
Shotzi. Zelina Vega has the same story. Like there are people that they have been following and that they kind of like when they're ready, they bring them in there. This is just being more public about it and being more kind of being more organized about it. This is no different than when WWE had OVW, or FCW. Same thing. They're allowing them to be on the independent circuit. You're just going to get followed a little bit more. I see this more as the WWE ID designation is like being something. Even Christopher Daniels had tryouts. Eddie Kingston had tryouts on for WWE Performance Center. They know who these people are. MJF, I think, had a tryout at some point.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't know who the top independent people are. Why do you think they brought Regal back? Regal's whole job the first time around was just running the indies and finding people. JBL is doing that right now with TNA. But the WWE ID designation is going to be interesting. It's like saying you're a fellow of something, like in academic purposes, or like you graduated from this school. So it's like it's a resume booster. I see it as.
I agree with you. I have concerns that like the schools might like do we think they're like tuition or
no financially? Like you would think with the increased brand recognition, yes. However, 3 out of the 5 schools are from WWE active talent or Hall of Famers. And I could understand. And like Seth's been running that school for a while. Cody's been running the Nightmare Factory forever. Jade Cargill came from a Nightmare Factory. Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Jade Cargill came from the Nightmare Factory. With 3 and like so I don't foresee them upping their prices because all of these schools are successful before WWE. Like Booker T runs Reality of Wrestling is not just a school, it's a show. Roxanne Perez came from Reality of Wrestling before she went to Ring of Honor.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Nate Frazier, who's on NXT right now, came from Seth Rollins' Black and Brave, or Black and Bold, or whatever it's called.
Black and Brave, I think.
Yeah, Black and Brave. That's why he has Seth Rollins' moveset a lot.
Yeah.
So like these are schools that have already been known to produce people. They're just getting like an official WWE ID designation. What I failed to realize, and when I read it through the first time, I thought that they were just going to give these people that they were going to follow the WWE ID tag and not really highlight them. But the fact that they're going to now be highlighted throughout their journey to potentially getting to WWE with like matches and social media, that brings a whole new facet to this whole operation.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Nox Pro is Rikishi? Thank you. There you go. There's another person. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Nox Pro is Rikishi. Which is in LA. So that brings a whole new facet to what they're trying to do. Because, yes, they are WWE ID talent, which means it's probably going to help the indies more than it's going to hurt it. So when this program starts to get rolling, these wrestlers will have this WWE ID designation, so their price on the independents will go up. But I feel like because this is all on brand recognition, WWE is the biggest brand in pro wrestling. Because you're going to have talent on the indie scenes with that WWE ID tag, more people just by default are going to be more inclined to go to these shows, which will expose them to other wrestlers. So I feel like it's going to be an interesting way that everybody's going to benefit from it. Will WWE have a little bit more of a stronghold on this? Yes, absolutely, because they will probably most likely benefit from it all. But I think everybody benefits greater in the long run. Like, more people might go to these indie shows. More people will be exposed to different talent. You know, it's WWE's always going to be at the top, but they always seem, especially under Trips now and the powers that be, to make sure that you still get exposed to other stuff, unless you're in AEW. But that's. So I see this as a pretty interesting thing. I want to see who they find and who they're going to follow through their social media and stuff. But also, be that as it may, you now have an equal balance. It's like WWE went away from the indies and did NIL. And now we're like, hey, we're going to bring the indies back. So now you have two different pathways to potentially find your way into the performance center. You can be signed with NIL. Odyssey Jones got signed, and we know what happened to him. But you can also be this WWE ID person, but you still have to make it through the PC and NXT. Like, this doesn't guarantee anything. It gives you a little bit of a leg up, sure, but I don't think this will actually guarantee you anything in the long run. There are so many talents that went to NXT and didn't do shit. Juice Robinson was one of them. Okay.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Exactly, because he was the environmentalist character for a minute. You know, Tyler Breeze almost got fired in NXT.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess does it give these people a leg up, but it doesn't guarantee them that they're going to make it. You still have to. There's still a process. This is just an easier step per se to get there. But it's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. What do you think of this, Kay? Does it make you want to go back into wrestling?
I think about going back to wrestling all the time. But, like, I know I never could. Like, I physically could never do that again.
Yeah.
But a younger me would absolutely be putting my face paint back on and trying again. I think it's great that there are more pathways for anybody that wants to get into the business, whether they want to be wrestlers or, like, refs or announcers, what have you. Like, we always need wrestlers. And I feel like there isn't one clear-cut way. And there isn't one clear-cut way to finding success. Hi, Mr. Fred.
Hey, Fretzy.
There's no one clear-cut pattern or definition of success in the wrestling business. And I think it's really cool that WWE does not fear the indies anymore.
Yeah.
And they're rather embracing it and trying to, like, help it along.
Yeah. Exactly. And I like I said, I think it's a good thing. This is just going to further the business of wrestling. And it's also, it fascinates me. It fascinates me how, as soon as like about a month or so ago, we were talking about AEW's media rights deal and how it's really good for business and wrestling and all of that stuff. And it fascinates me that all of a sudden out of the blue, WWE's like, we have this now. Like they are, from a business standpoint, I am so fascinated how they're always like one step ahead of their primary competition.
I feel like Triple H probably like is aware of like what people have been saying in the dirt sheets for years.
Oh yeah, he has a burner account. That's for sure.
Yeah, so like the shit people have been saying for years about WWE and the business as a whole, he's aware. And I feel like Tony Khan is not necessarily concerned about that aspect of the business, not trying to make this a Tony versus Trips thing, but it's just kind of turned that way.
Yeah.
I feel like Triple H, he has his finger on the pulse of the business. Tony Khan just wants to sign people.
Yeah.
And play GM mode.
Which is a great mode these days. It is one of those things which I have to get back to probably now that I got WWE 2K24 for free. Thanks PlayStation.
Ooh.
It's PlayStation Network, really. I got it on the right weekend. is what it was.
That's good.
Oh, that is a great question, Daquan. He asked, since the Nightmare Factory is affiliated with QT Marshall, does that make him a double agent? Because it is
Interesting.
Cody and QT that run the Nightmare Factory. That's a very interesting question. That's something to really think about. And I hope Tony doesn't just like sign people, because at some point, this is a saying that we had in Greek life too when I was in college in a past life. Recruitment is the lifeblood of your organization. You're
Yeah.
always going to have to find new talent. And currently at this moment, and you know, obviously WWE has 50 plus years ahead of AEW. AEW's not there, they're trying to build, but at some point, you know, they're they're past their fifth year, or they're in the fifth year now. You got to start looking at developing some of this younger talent. And I think they're doing a little bit better at it now since I've been watching a little
Mhm.
bit. You know, there's still things they got to work on, but you know, I hopefully that they get there. At some point, they have too much television time to not develop younger talent.
No, for real.
At this point, to be completely honest with you. Speaking of that, and NXT's going to the ECW arena next week, which is wild in and of itself.
I know. Oh,
Yeah, anywho.
I wish I could go.
Let's move on to WWID. Move on from that. Let's go to what we're really here for, folks, is Crown Jewel is this weekend. Probably our last bastion of happiness before Tuesday, because you know what Tuesday is in America.
Oh, God.
You know, it is, I think, was like the 8th or something Crown Jewel event. They're getting close to the 10-year mark, I will tell you that, because the 10-year
I
contract.
was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
I remember when this started.
Oh, you weren't on
How far we are.
you weren't on the show when we had that first conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's actually what led to the work.
Yeah.
So and you know how most of the Valkyrie being forever mad at us.
Except me.
Well, yeah, you didn't directly talk to any of us, I don't think. You guys are clever though. I do commend your cleverness for coming together to try to get us to, you know, to figure to like find us in a lie.
We were concerned.
And calculated. I'll tell you that. You knew just the right people to reach out to each of us to get us to talk.
Yo, the magic of Snapchat group chat back in those days.
Magical. I literally thought it was through Twitter, but I guess it was through Snapchat. Good job, guys. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all of you.
Yeah.
Speaking of Snapchat, who hit me? Well, yeah, I'll answer that later. Anywho, so Crown Jewel coming up this weekend. It's going to be, I think they've actually nailed the Crown Jewel concept. Finally. Finally.
This is the most excited I've ever been for a Crown Jewel.
So they took the Survivor Series gimmick of champion versus champion, the All-Star Game gimmick, and they gave it to Crown Jewel, and they gave it with a ridiculously like diamond-studded jeweled belt. Like so big and so gaudy that they have men in white gloves carrying this belt around like it's the Stanley freaking Cup. Okay.
I like it.
I wish they could make a replica. They probably won't.
I looked.
Yeah, they probably won't, but if they did,
oh, you would have it.
Oh yeah, for no reason whatsoever. So the first thing here is the first ever Crown Jewel Championship match for the men's. The WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus the WWE World Champion Gunther. These guys have Cody Rhodes has eliminated Gunther, I think, in the last couple of Rumbles. These guys have history. Their promo work on SmackDown was insane. Cody breaking the fourth wall, being like dramatic. Have you seen my brother? Of course we're dramatic. I was like, did Kay write this?
I unfortunately missed this segment on SmackDown because I was waiting for food.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was hungry.
You're hungry. I get it. So the thing with the Crown Jewel designation of this belt is this person becomes essentially the Crown Jewel of WWE, the best of the best. Not your King of the Ring, but the Crown Jewel. Think of the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but with a purpose outside of MJF. That's how I'm saying they hold this designation for a year, and you know it kind of gets passed around, you know, as a perpetual one-time championship belt every year to create its own unique lineage. So it becomes like you become like the ultimate guy for that year. You're a crown jewel of WWE. So like 2024's crown jewel could either be Cody Rhodes or Gunther, essentially being the quote best of the best. So the big question is, who do you got?
I think Gunther's going to win
Hmm.
with the help of my dear friend William Goldberg.
You, ever since he showed up at Bad Blood, you were like, this is going to happen, isn't it?
I'm waiting. You can't do that to me. You can't just tease me with a Bill Goldberg pop-up.
This, like the
I'm
hard
fiending
thing
for it.
about this is like you
Fiending.
can't. It's hard to choose this one because like Cody's the guy. Like in all actuality, from a company standpoint, Cody's your top guy, no matter what. Like, and he deserves it. Cody's a great face of the company. He's an absolutely brilliant face of the company.
Yes, he is, for sure.
You know, absolutely brilliant face of the company. And Gunther can be that guy. Like I've seen Gunther out of character on interviews. He's awesome. He's awesome to talk to. Apparently he loves chocolates. He's still a fat boy at heart. You know, so can Cody kind of take a loss for a little bit and start to get ready for the new year and Gunther be the crown jewel person? I kind of think so, because when you look at what's coming up at the end of next month, you have Survivor Series War Games, and the story's not Cody. You know, at this point, Cody, I think, is going to be building to a big match at Rumble. And
I agree.
You know,
But who? Oh shit!
it could be.
Oh shit!
Excuse me.
The Yankees.
Yes.
They had a grand slam. It's 5-2.
Jesus fucking Christ! Who hit it?
Anthony Volpe.
Oh, that's the new Jeter. It's the new Jeter.
Is that? Did I say his name?
Anthony
right?
Volpe. Yes, you're right.
So sorry to the Yankees fans listening.
No, you're
here.
fine. You're fine. Anthony Volpe's fine. You got it correct. You got it correct.
Wow, their first grand slam in a World Series since Game 1, 1998.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, he's a little 23-year-old. They see him as the next Jeter. He's a young.
Yeah, he looks. I'm like, he looks young.
He's 23. He's from Jersey, I think. He's like a homegrown boy.
Damn.
So yeah. So we have. So I don't think. Come on, Dodgers. Fuck you, Frets. How the Blue Jays doing? Oh, wait. So when you look at the grand scheme of Cody and Gunther and everything like that, I think Gunther needs this more. Like Gunther's already a great heel. I think Gunther needs more. I think for you John Cena Cody a bit. You know, you make Cody look a little weak going into the Rumble and him have to build himself back up so that, you know, he looks really strong going into Mania season. And he might go up against Kevin or Randy, because remember, we still have the Randy thing happening. And honestly, I think Randy Cody Rumble is perfect.
Oh, that's a good match.
And I think you build to that, and I think you build to it with the Cody loss. So I think Gunther. I think Gunther beats Cody, especially because this isn't a title no real championships on the line.
Yeah.
This is just recognition. So I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah, I feel like Cody doesn't need the win here.
Yeah, he doesn't at all. So yeah, let's move on to probably the more interesting matchup, the Crown Jewel Women's Championship. Queen Nia Jax, the Queen of the Ring, versus Jersey's finest Liv Morgan, who essentially is just being a Jersey girl on TV, and it's freaking hysterical. For that, they will get their own also Crown Jewel Championship belt. They have shown it off before. It's in white. I think it's a white belt, a white strap instead of a black.
Remember, actually.
I think it's a white strap. They're having a face up on SmackDown, which Kay may or may not have seen. Did you?
Yes, I did see it. I did.
Okay. So I mean, this is the build that the biggest story surrounding Liv Morgan and kayfabe, not kayfabe, sorry, Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. Sorry, you don't have a rivalry with.
I don't have a title yet.
Not a title yet.
Sorry,
so the big thing surrounding this is Nia's treatment of Tiffany Stratton. You know, Tiffany's kind of been put on the sideline. She got replaced by Candice LeRae for like a week, and Also, Tiffy's been fucking up. Trying to like cash in, trying to not cash in. Nia like literally like choked her on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. If you saw that backstage segment.
I did.
Yeah. Which is also, if you saw Tiffy's face, I was like, hold on a second. So the big thing is, how does this go down? I think, here's what I think. I think Tiffy cost Nia this match.
Oh, 1,000%.
Because
without a doubt,
you create that controversy, and at some point Tiffy is going to cash in on Nia. I don't think you do it in Saudi Arabia because it doesn't make sense, because it's for another title. It's not for this. It's not for Nia's championship. But I think by Rumble, Tiffy's costing Nia the championship. And I think it benefits Liv more, because Liv is like, people can't stand Liv and Dom now. Now Liv has 2 belts. She'll be insufferable.
Yeah. And that's the energy that we want.
Exactly.
I wondered about this. We were talking about this the other day about even though I know that this is not for the WWE, like the championship, it's for the crown jewel thing. Couldn't Tiffy still cash in anyway?
I don't know.
Like, okay, so like, let's say let's
talk this. Yeah, right? Let's talk this out.
Okay, so she fucks the match up for Nia. Nia is like fucked up, right? Yeah. She sees Nia in a vulnerable state and then realizes she can cash in. Can't she just cash in then? And then they ring the bell and start a match?
Yes, she could. But that means that means Liv could also win too. So you're talking a match within a match.
Yes. Like Liv win but have Tiffy cash in after.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I see what you mean. So the match actually happens and then Tiffy cashes in after the match.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Sorry, I'm not explaining it right. Like the way I like envisioning it in my head is that Tiffy comes out to help Nia in some way, and she ends up fucking it up. Whether it's on accident or on purpose, we don't know. But she fucks the match up for Nia, and Nia gets like hurt, or it was like weakened. Like she's blown up after the match, and then Tiffy can realize and see, oh shit, Nia's blown up. This is my opportunity, and she's gonna do the whole look at the briefcase and be like, should I? And the crowd's gonna go all in, and they're gonna hype her up, and then she's gonna cash in. I don't necessarily think she'll have a successful cash in when she cashes in.
Yeah.
But I think it's possible it could happen at Crown Jewel.
It could happen.
It's a weird take, but if I'm right, I will be very smug about it.
I'm more entertained by Tiffy failing the cash in, because she plays a really good dumb blonde.
Yeah.
She plays a really good dumb blonde. And she they play that up a lot with her. Sir Charles is saying Nia wins but still only leaves with 1 belt. Which is, again, Nia could actually win and Tiffy cash in after Nia wins. And everybody leaves with a belt. It's also a possibility. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think that's more plausible than Tiffy just straight cashing in. It'd be an interesting take. Be a very, very interesting take. But I'm still going to go with Liv winning. And I don't know what Tiffy I think Tiffy cashing in would be left for like a bigger stage, like the Rumble. Tiffy cashes in at the Rumble, not during the match, because that would be very unique. But Tiffy cashing in at the Rumble, I think, is a bigger stage, because like they want to make her a star. So have her cash in Crown Jewel.
Do we think we're saving Tiffy for Charlotte Flair?
At this point, absolutely. Charlotte's coming back by the Rumble. She has to be.
So Charlotte's going to come back in the Rumble. Got it.
I can almost guarantee that. Charlotte's been ready. Tiffy Charlotte at Mania, blonde versus blonde. Yeah, it's a Vince McMahon classic.
Literally.
It is. Tiffy Charlotte Mania is a high possibility. So Tiffy cashing in at the Rumble, going on that run, and then being like, oh, you have to beat Charlotte at Mania, which she'll lose to Charlotte at Mania.
Obviously.
Yeah. But like she'll have a good, run with it, but we'll see what happens. So moving on to non-championship match, and then what might actually still be the main event. It's a preview of War Games with only 3 members on each side. So we have Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0, Roman and the Usos, the original Bloodline crew, versus Solo, maybe, and Solo, and a mixture of 2 of these 3 people, Tongaloa, Tama Tonga, and or Jacob Fatu. That's what it looks like right now. There was a thing on Raw where good old white savior Sami Zayn got into the mix again. That's what it is. It's white savior Sammy. Like, I love Sammy to death, but stop, man. Stop, Sammy. So this is officially a 6-man tag designation. This is leading to War Games clearly, and obviously Sammy's going to be a part of War Games. I think they've made that clear. How they do that, I don't know, because there's a lot of swerving that happened on Raw with this. But the question is, who wins this match?
Okay, I have another crazy take.
Okay, I want to hear this. What do you got?
I've been feeling, I don't know, I'm feeling very inspired by wrestling, and I'm booking shit again. So I think that New Bloodline is winning. But I think that sometime between Crown Jewel and the Rumble, I think that Jacob Fatu is turning on Solo and kicking Solo out of the bloodline, and Solo is going to have to crawl back to Roman's bloodline, kind of with his tail between his legs, and then they bring in a new fourth. I think either Zilla Fatu, or isn't there another Tongan brother out there somewhere?
Somewhere, yeah. Zilla Fatu, really nice person. Met him at Comic-Con.
They could bring in one of those guys, and they could do the true OG bloodline versus Jacob Fatu's bloodline, which is all the Tongans and him.
Yeah. By the way, Zilla Fatu is just as big as the rest of those guys. Like, he's a big dude. He actually had he had a really funny story. We were talking to him at Comic-Con, which, by the way, he introduced himself to, like, myself and my friend Sam, which blew my mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was there with Rikishi and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, and he talked about how when he was learning to wrestle, he didn't know how to run the ropes. And he goes, there's a way you have to hit the ropes. He goes, and I didn't hit that way. He goes, the first time he ran the ropes, he fell off the ring.
Oh my God.
Because he toppled over.
Oh my God. Oh.
But like, outside of his character, seemed like a really cool chick. I wish him all the best. I kind of agree with you. I think because like WWE's on a roll right now with making Bloodline 2.0 like the most hated thing in wrestling at the moment. You know, Solo's got a little bit more of a bravado with him. He's not as brooding and menacing now. Jacob Fatu cracks me up all the time. Me too. He clearly is playing Paul Heyman.
Like, I don't like New Bloodline. I love
Jacob Fatu's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And so I think you gotta kind of make Roman and Jimmy and Jay look weak. Jimmy's taking this pin.
Yeah.
You know.
That's fine.
Yeah, Jimmy's taking this pin, which will lead into War Games, and that's how you bring in Sammy, because there's literally no one else to bring in right now. This could lead to the return of Paul Heyman.
I've been saying that for weeks. I thought that he could come back in Brooklyn, but then mild spoiler for Friday SmackDown, he did not show up.
He could show up on NXT next week at the ECW Arena.
Oh, that would be sick.
They already booked Dawn Marie.
Did they?
Dawn Marie's going to be a special guest referee in a women's match.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Bloodline 2.0 beats original Bloodline. It's going to be a wild, chaotic thing, but I think they're going to beat original Bloodline.
OG Bloodline doesn't have a sturdy enough foundation to win a match.
Yeah, they still kind of all hate each other.
Yeah. They don't trust each other.
Exactly. And I mean, can you blame them?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Expect the Quan Marie username. Yes, I will, Taquan. I love how Taquan always changes his username on Discord.
Literally the best usernames on Discord.
It's good. It's very good. So moving on from the Bloodline match, we have Randy versus Kevin. So RKO versus KO. In what was in the makings of what was a ridiculous angle on SmackDown, where you had, I don't know if you saw the playback of it. Randy called out Triple H.
Mm-mm.
They had a camera of Triple H in Gorilla.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so on the live show, or but not so live show for SmackDown,
I was very confused.
Yeah, on the not so live show with SmackDown, Randy comes out to the ring. He calls out Triple H, and there's a camera in Gorilla of Triple H like not want to do it, and then someone hits his music, and he like gives out a like. he has a very visible sigh and like takes off his headphones and walks out. I think the winner of this match goes up against Cody at the Rumble.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I think Randy, Cody at the Rumble is perfect.
I agree.
For this. I love KO to death. I think KO is just kind of he's just a stepping stone to Randy and Cody. They've been kind of teasing Randy and Cody for a very, very long time. I think this is going to happen.
Plus, the loss also will help with Kevin's like heelness that's coming.
I mean, I can also see Randy, Kevin, Cody triple threat.
I don't want
But I think that's too much.
I agree. Not everything needs to be a triple threat.
Yeah, I think Randy, Cody. So I think Randy beats Kevin. Especially when Triple H was like, I'm trying to protect you from Kevin.
Yeah.
Like Triple H having no faith in Randy. Did you watch that segment live?
No, I was again online.
You were really hungry.
Well, no, it was between getting into the venue, like that line, and then the food line.
Oh yeah.
Liv got merch, like, so I missed a bunch of segments. The only wrestling that I know for sure that I missed was the best of 7.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, I was in my seat by like a little after 8.
Okay. It happens, I guess. It very much.
Yeah.
So we're both in agreement. Randy's winning this whole thing.
Yeah.
Moving on to this. Moving on to what's probably going to steal the show. Thick boy Bronson Reed versus Seth freaking Rollins. These guys want to kill each other. Seth curb stomped him on the hood of a car on Raw.
Yo, it was so good.
And then Bronson Reed got up and gave him a Death Valley driver off of a production truck into a bed of tables.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are going to destroy each other.
It was giving Roman Reigns Nassau Coliseum ambulance.
That was such a great time.
That was my very first WWE event.
That was so good. Oh man, yeah, these guys are gonna kill each other. It's gonna be great. My big question here is, I don't really care who wins. Seth going back on vacation. How many tsunamis does Seth get?
4.
So the first time he did was 6.
Yeah, I feel like if we do more now, I feel like it's just gonna be like overkill.
Potentially. So it's funny that Bronson Reed was on Chris Van Vliet, he was a great interviewer for all these wrestling talents lately. Apparently, Bronson Reed revealed like he wasn't supposed to do 6. He just kept going. Like it was an ad-lib for him to keep doing more. Hey, that's great timing, because sometimes you got to go off script a little.
Yeah.
And they sold it really well. I don't know. Seth is really good at getting people over. Like, look what he did for Cody.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, Seth does not need this win in any way.
No. Seth the Diva, who wore 2 jackets of the same color on Raw. You saw that bullshit, right?
Oh, we did. Literally during that segment, that's how we decided we're being Seth and Becky for Halloween.
Who's Seth and who's Becky?
Liv is Seth, I'm Becky, and Boris is being the Undertaker.
You guys are ridiculous.
Liv has the hair.
Gotcha.
Liv literally has the Seth hair, and Becky. I'm just gonna throw on an orange wig, and I have like black.
There you go. It works out. See, I'm gonna go with Bronson. I want Bronson to win this, to be honest with you. Seth doesn't need this win right now. Seth can be going on to
I
something
agree.
bigger at Mania, CM Punk. We're getting
Oh,
Seth
yeah.
CM Punk at
Oh, yeah.
Mania.
Oh my god, I can't wait for Seth and Punk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be great. So yeah, I think Bronson Reed takes this. Seth's gonna give him a fantastic match. Now that they're
I
both
agree.
healthy, yeah. Seth and Punk at Mania may not
Yeah.
be for the title, which would be unfortunate.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for a while because I desperately feel like that should be a title match, but I don't know how either of them are going to get to the title. Like,
Yeah, how do you take the title off of
no,
Gunther?
you don't. So,
Yeah, that's the big issue. So yeah, I
unless Gunther happens, God forbid, I don't want this to happen, but God forbid Gunther is like injured for real
yeah
during Mania time and has to like drop. I don't see him dropping unless he is forced to.
yeah. And Gunther deserves a main event at this point. He's doing unbelievable
Yeah.
work, absolutely unbelievable work. Give him night one main event.
Yeah.
Or either main event or an opener. He deserves that accolade for the stuff that he's done in the last like 3 to 4 years. But moving on from that, speaking of best of 7, we have a triple threat match for the United States Championship. So obviously the game 7 was going to be Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. It was going well, but LA Knight became that's a good point, Taquan. Gunther could get the Cena match. That would be excellent.
Oh, I think Gunther is 1,000% getting the Cena match.
But LA Knight was the guest referee for this game 7, or the best of 7 match 7. And LA Knight, obviously with his ego, kind of ruined it for everybody. So Nick Aldis was like, "You're getting a triple threat match at Crown Jewel." This is interesting because LA Knight has the US title. He beat Logan Paul for it. He got his moment. He did his stuff. I think it's time to get that belt off of LA Knight.
I think it's Carmelo Hayes' time.
I believe so as well. I think for a couple of things. Number one, look what they've done for Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
And the equivalent to Braun Breaker was Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes was a first-round draft pick for SmackDown. Andrade and him have put on some damn good matches. Like, they like, it's so weird. Best of 7s just work sometimes, whether you intend to do it or not. Like, the first best of 7 I remember, Sheamus and Cesaro.
That's the one I always think of.
Did wonders. I think this is wonders. And I think Melo needs this US title to elevate him. I'd be so happy for him. Obviously, since we interviewed him before he went to WWE. Not interviewed, we sponsored his last match. Not interviewed him, my apologies. We sponsored his last match before he went to WWE, so I'm very happy for that. So I think, Melo shoots he doesn't miss. I think you really build up this Melo thing, especially him being like a super heel, now even a cockier heel now that he has the belt. All for Trick Williams to show up at the Rumble.
Yes. Oh my God, please.
Now I'm assuming you did not watch Halloween Havoc, Kay.
Not yet. I want to though this week. Is it worth watching?
I think so, yes. Especially for all the wrestlers who cosplayed and different stuff.
That's why I like watching the Halloween Havocs. I usually try to watch them even if I don't really catch up on NXT. Yeah. I did say, wait, never mind. In case this was a Friday. Never mind. We'll talk about this next week. Because there's something I noticed on SmackDown on Friday, but now I don't remember if it happened on this week's taping or it's going to happen on Friday. Okay. But there's an outfit I want to talk to you about.
All right, yeah.
You'll know it when you see
it. I probably will. I will say the best. Trick Williams had a great cosplay because they were in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So Trick came out in a brown top hat and a purple vest and was
like Willy Wonka.
He called himself Trick Willy Wonka. For his entrance, he had the white gloves, he had the cane. He even did the roll. As part of its entrance.
Wow. I love Willy Wonka. So wow, that makes me very excited.
Yeah, Roxanne and Cora Jade came out as the twins from The Shining.
Cute, very cute.
Stephanie Vaquer and Gulia were just them. Stephanie Vaquer is quickly becoming a favorite of mine. Oh
Really?
wait, that's my favorite match of that event was the women's
I've been
tag.
watching NXT a little bit, but like not every week.
Yeah,
Again, I was consistent and then baseball happened.
CW app, the
Yeah.
CW app, it's free on that. But yeah, for this one, I think it's Melo's time. Give him the
Yeah.
title, let him run with it, let him run to the mid card, build him up in kind of a semi low going into the end of the year. We'll see what happens when he has the belt. Moving on to this, and also this is probably the most women that we're ever going to have in a match in Saudi Arabia ever. Remember, we only had one women's match. We now have two, and we now
Yep.
have 10 women competing in Crown Jewel. This is called progress, folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really is. I was shocked when they announced
Yeah.
this.
I loved also having oops, that's Will. I love also having all of the GMs in one segment. Being like, we came together because it made sense. You have NXT, SmackDown, and Raw represented on a cross-promotional title, which the only one that's a cross-promotional title is funny, Taquan, is the Women's Tag Championship. So you have Bianca and Jade going up against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, going up against Damage Control, Io Sky and Kairi Sane, going up against NXT's Metaphor, representing by Lash Legend and Miss Jakara Jackson, who I've seen Jakara Jackson in person, and my Lord Almighty. I'll just say that. This has been a very interesting build, especially because when Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson had a tag match on SmackDown against Jade and Bianca, it got preempted by another storyline. And a lot of people were ticked about that. A lot of people, because it was their debut, and then they got interrupted by, I think, something going on with Kevin Owens interrupted them mid-entrance. To say his thing, and then they had the match, and you can see visibly that Bianca and Jade were even pissed about how that segment went on air and on TV. So a lot of people were ticked about that. But to their credit, they have started to use them. Rhea got jumped. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you, Taquan. To a lot of their credit, they kept Lash Legend Jakar on. They've had a bunch more matches. They're really fun if you've ever seen them. Have you seen Metaphor, K, at all?
Literally never in my life.
Noam
I was
Dar's
so
group.
confused. Oh.
Yeah, Noam Dar's been injured for a while. But their entrance is really cool. They have like a Power Ranger entrance. So like they'll pose in the dark and then like a streak of color will go and they'll show a silhouette.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So it's really cool. Lash Legend, I'll give you a little bit of history of Lash Legend. Lash Legend was a former WNBA player. She is also dating in real life Trick Williams.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They've actually had a couple they let them do a couple like flirtatious spots on NXT. It's really cute. Jakara Jackson, which I found out because me and Charles looked her up. She's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. There's not really much history outside of her for that. She's like, oh, a unicorn. I was like, you're from New Mexico? But she is uber athletic, uber talented. I'm just happy to see all of them, especially NXT getting represented with Chelsea and Kairi and Io. And like, this is going to be a fun match.
I'm very excited. See all these women.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to win this. Like, I could see Bianca and Jade winning. I can also see Bianca and Jade losing.
Me too.
Due to all like the chaos going on.
I think if Jade and Bianca lose, I think it could start the beginning of the Jade and Bianca split.
It's possible. They've had a long enough time. I would love to see these women's tag titles go to Lash and Jakara Jackson.
That would be so nice.
But also they've been highlighting them a lot more. Like they popped up on almost every show for the past like 3 weeks. So like you're clearly doing something with them. Lash Legend also was a very big internet viral fame for a while. She, on an episode of NXT when Alpha Academy was down there, she body slammed Otis. Not like with ease though. Like picked him up and slammed him.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like she is a great future powerhouse. Jakara Jackson, uber athletic. So like I'm gonna go with my heart here. I'm gonna go with Jakara and Lash Legend winning these tag titles and kind of just restarting the women's tag division down in NXT.
I think I'm gonna say Jade and Bianca hold on to it for a little bit longer.
Okay, fair enough.
A little I don't think like they're not gonna I don't think it's coming at Crown Jewel, but they're gonna drop soon. I don't think they have a lot of time left.
I would agree with that. I don't want Chelsea and Piper to win, and there's no offense to them. I want Chelsea to get the mid card title whenever that comes.
I would love that for her. Chelsea deserves a title so much. Like I
Her
want to
character
say
work is absolutely amazing.
she's so fucking funny. Like I want to say that I think that like Chelsea and Piper could win the tag titles, but I don't see it for them.
No.
I also like Piper better by herself, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, Piper's only there because Carmella hasn't come back.
Yeah, that too.
You know, but Piper does her role well. She's a really funny straight person for Chelsea.
She is.
She's really funny. So it works out. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for our Crown Jewel preview right now. Obviously, we're going to crown it real quick. How many crowns are going to be? 1 being the worst thing in the world, 10 being, you know, the greatest thing of all time, aka WrestleMania 40. At this point, Kay, I'll have you go first. Where do you think this will land?
I'll give it like a 7.5.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. I think I'm going to go with this being probably their best Crown Jewel performance ever.
I would agree with that.
Due to obviously you have a gimmick that kind of fits, you know, the show and where they're at. You have a lot more representation of gender and age and talent from all three brands, being represented. There's a lot of variety. You know, I feel like the matches now, because remember when the first Crown Jewels happened and like Greatest Royal Rumble, these really didn't mean anything for the grand scheme of the programming.
Oh, they were horrible. They were filler matches to bring back old guys.
Exactly. And now that they've kind of found a way to put it into, like, you know, the schedule and the timeline of WWE. So I think this is one where it's actually really going to mean something. And a lot of that crowd is always into it. Like, it's going to be a WrestleMania level show in presentation, at least. So I'm going to go with an 8.
I agree with what Charles says, where he said 7.5 overall, 9 for Crown Jewel. I would agree with that. Yeah. Like, as a pay-per-view to 7.5, but like definitely like high tier for a Crown Jewel.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to it. Remember, folks, it is at 1 p.m. on a Saturday in the States, 1 p.m. in the Eastern Time, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Crown Jewel is a brunch pay-per-view, which, by the way, I love so much. There's nothing like waking up and doing like pancakes and wrestling or whatever your food of choice is. I'm so happy for it. It's the last one we're going to get for a while. Except the Elimination...
Last brunch pay-per-view?
No, Elimination Chamber, I think it's going to be in the UK.
Oh, very good. So another brunch time pay-per-view.
Potentially, yes. Potentially, that's what it's going to be. So that pretty much concludes the show for us this week. Any final words, Kayfabe? What's the score for Yankees? You've been really good for us lately.
Thank you. Same score. Let me double check.
What is it? Yeah, what is the inning?
Let me double. We're at commercial. Let's see. World Series 2024. We're at the top of the 5th. Wait, the Dodgers apparently scored, and I missed it.
I guess so.
Oh, so it's 5-4 Yankees top of the 5th.
It's too fucking close. It's too fucking close.
Yeah.
God damn it. All right. So obviously no fucking post show or whatever, because I'm gonna go watch the Yankees and probably finish this. I'm like more than halfway done with the Storm book, and so I should probably put a dent into that, you know, to kind of quell my anxiety of this damn game. I just don't want the Yankees to get swept at this point.
I don't either. I feel bad.
You know. So we'll see what happens. Well, with that being said, folks, let's get the fuck out of here. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 392, Crowned Fools. And we are no fools to the Crown Jewel Premium Live event that's happening this Saturday, 1 p.m. on the East, 10 a.m. in specific time. I've been your host, King Ricky Rose. You can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets, BIGZ, Ambassador Biggs, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, some people's DMs, less people's text messages. Probably changing my profile picture on all of those sites very, very soon. BIGZ. Yeah. I think you guys deserve my face after being away for like over a year. I've also been very artsy with my selfies lately. I just haven't posted them. Anywho, find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media outlets. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews, buy some of our pretty fantastic merch. If you're listening to us, make sure you're listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast. Follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at addict_wrestle on Twitter, because no one wants to call it X, and at Wrestle Addict Radio, all one word, everywhere else on social media. Big K Kayfabe, what you got for me?
Alrighty. I have a dog to give ice cream to and to watch Charlie Brown with. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at KAE_FABE Kayfabe.
I forgot you're on Threads.
I recently made a Threads.
Oh, you should be following me.
I was just curious about it. I am following you.
It's a cleaner Twitter.
That's exactly what it is. I missed scrolling through Twitter, but I don't miss Twitter.
Yeah, you'll be privy to a lot of interesting information from me on Threads if you follow my stuff.
Oh, I follow your Threads. Please go vote, y'all. If you are registered to vote, if early voting exists in your area, that is available to you. Election day is next Tuesday. Please fucking vote.
Seriously. Please do. I voted yesterday. It was actually fantastic. Very, very simple.
Woo!
Yeah. Get it out of the way.
I have to plan. I have to figure out when I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I have some resources for you to help you with your planning for voting.
I already know where to go, who I'm voting for, where all my things. Oh, I'm already I have a plan. I have to figure out when to go.
Good job. And figure out your time frames and when you want to go to. Anywho, folks, when we come back, hopefully next week, I will find out who the Crown Jewel champions are. We'll start our build to War Games. Something probably happened in the NXT parking lot. America may be a completely different place. Who the hell knows at this point? But I do know one thing for sure, and one thing that is for certain is that we will never vote for Slack, because fuck you, Slack. Goodbye. Good night. We'll see you soon. And for the love of God, go out and vote. Jesus Christ. Later, kids.
Midnight music. Midnight music.